I'm heading to Wayne Tower. If we can decrypt the Arkham Knight security protocols, we should be able to track his location.
If he thinks he can hide from you, sir, he's in for something of a surprise.
Control, Alicia has deployed heavy tank drones. Founder's Island. Falcon 4 out.
The train yard, Batman! Come to the train yard! Beneath those rusty tracks awaits an arena in which our minds will clash.
Control, we have a riot taking place in Grand Avenue. It's going off down there. Over.
Well, there goes the riot. It's always this thing. It starts fun, then people show up, taking it way too seriously with all their fancy equipment and spoil it.
Nice of you to drop in, Mr. Wayne. I suppose you weren't really dressed for the front entrance.
Have you finished the decryption?
Fully decoded. I've downloaded all recent militia radio transmissions and their corresponding coordinates to your machine.
Thanks, Lucius. I can scan the network for the Arkham Knight's voice print and determine the location of his last broadcast.
You know, if I'd ever been curious about your identity, I would have torn off that mask years ago. I always figured the truth would be a letdown. But I have to admit, masquerading as Gotham's least interesting socialite is one hell of a cover story. The dead parents are just icing on the cake.
You had to go and spoil the surprise. I was hoping to keep her under wraps until she's ready. Next generation disruptor. She's still a couple of weeks from completion, but I figured you'd appreciate a working prototype. I should have her with you later on this evening.
Thanks, Lucius. I think I might need it.
Identity confirmed. Good evening, Mr. Wayne. Upload waveform for analysis.
Now I've waited long enough. Batman dies. Tonight.
Scanning communications for voice print match. Location verified.
Got it. The Knight's transmitting from the Miyagani tunnel network.
Glad to be of assistance, Mr. Wayne. While you're here, we've been working on some further upgrades for your car. Let me know where you'd like us to focus our efforts. An upgrade to your weapons generator will let you overcharge the Batmobile's secondary weapons. You'll be a force to be reckoned with. Excellent choice. I'll prepare it right away. Now, if there's anything else you need, I'll be here all night. It's not like I could leave this city even if I wanted to. Take care, Mr. Wayne. You know where to find me.
Alfred, I've traced the Arkham Knight to the Miyagani tunnel system.
Excellent news, sir. But I'm detecting a significant drone presence in the area. It would be folly to engage them without the Batmobile.
Noted.
Shall I open the south entrance?
Hold off until I get there, Alfred. I don't want to spoil. Surprise. A challenge in the Cauldron train yard. Fine, Nigma. I'll play your games and I'll win. Selina's life depends on it.
Come in, Control. We have rioters on Miyagani Island. Falcon 5 out.
So, Riddler bagged the cat, did he? Well, we'll regret pissing her off.
Control. Tank spotted in Kingston. Over.
Nah, I ain't afraid of Scarecrow. If he was really scary, he wouldn't need fear gas, right? Here he is! Get after him! Say goodnight, Batman.
We're gonna mess you up!
It's confirmed. Rioters spotted in the Cauldron. Falcon 5 out.
Two-Face wants payback for the courthouse. Bat's gonna get it.
You're always chasing Dark Knight. You always lag behind. You could have struck first, ended me and every villain long ago, but you're afraid.
Seen it? Bat's got all kinds of blame on that killer man. Ah, sorry, man. I gotta link up with Harvey's crew. We got plans.
A challenge in the Cauldron train yard. Fine, Nigma. I'll play your games and I'll win. Selena's life depends on it.
There he is! Get him! Gonna have some fun with you, Batman! Smash his face in!
Did we beat him?
Whatever else happens tonight, guys, I want you to know this was the best Halloween ever. Can't wait to see Batman and the Arkham Knight go toe-to-toe. Anybody seen that anarchy guy? That kid'd love this.
Control, this is Falcon 5. I'm seeing a riot in progress. Cauldron District, over.
On floor it! Run him down! You hear about Ivy? She's barely back in Gotham before Batman locks her up.
Falcon 5 to Control. We're tracking rioters on Bleak Island, over.
No way is Batman working with Scarecrow. No way. Where'd you hear that? Gordon's daughter got grabbed? I hate that pig as much as the next guy, but that ain't right.
It's gone, Dark Knight. The grip you had on Gotham. Your long reign of fear. I'm sovereign now.
That freaking bat tank fires non-lethal rounds. It's like getting punched by an angry gorilla. Those tanks will run us over. I've seen it happen. I think I saw Batman earlier. Guy's looking a little hairier these days. I think Riddler's gonna kill Batman and Catwoman tonight. Maybe he really is a genius. That's some serious hardware. That must have cost a bundle. When you're talking about killing Batman, people reach deep into their pockets. Trust me. Scarecrow took Commissioner Gordon's kid. That's pretty cool, if you ask me.
Ah, Detective, you arrived! I thought Catwoman's little predicament might encourage your participation. I realized, you see, that the kind of image-obsessed narcissist who places bat symbols on his hubcaps would never willingly submit himself to the kind of humiliation I have in store. Yet, here you are, Detective. The humiliation is waiting below. Well then, Detective, it begins. You are staring, with stupefied incomprehension, at a mechanism I have calibrated to respond to an extremely precise radar pulse. In a moment, I will give you the decrypted code, Dark Knight. Oh, but first, I think we should run through the ground rules for tonight's festivities. Rule the first. You will address me at all times as Riddler, the Riddler, or Mr. Nigma, sir. Otherwise, Detective, I expect your patented brand of churlish silence. Rule the second. All gauntlets, cowl-integrated microphones, and other communications devices, bat-themed or otherwise, are to be switched off prior to the start of the test. Should you be caught using any of these, you will be expelled from the course. Rule the third. The use of purpose-built riddle-solving equipment is strictly prohibited. I am familiar with the contents of your utility belt, Detective, and I will be evaluating any sudden additions over the course of this evening most suspiciously. Rule the fourth. In the event of fire or flood, I will be on hand to guide you to the nearest emergency exit. Assuming, that is, you are not too proud to follow my advice. In that eventuality, we will consider your stubbornly prideful suicide an admission of defeat. Rule the fifth. Do not ask for clues. Rule the sixth. Should I, in my exasperation, choose to provide you with a clue, hint, obliquely meaningful insult, or any other form of assistance, you will not ask for further elucidation, but instead thank me for my kind generosity, whilst adhering to the forms of address outlined in the very first rule. Rule the seventh. What? How did you solve tonight's very first riddle? Well done. Well done. Welcome to my racetrack, detective. You must complete 3 circuits of this gauntlet, finishing each before the time limit expires. Come now, detective. Let's put that grotesque ego-mobile to the test. Be ready, Dark Knight. There's more to this test than just going vroom, vroom really fast. You're going backwards, Dark Knight. Is this a valiant attempt at a joke? Tick-tock, detective, tick-tock. Can that ramshackle motor handle this? Come now, detective. Time waits for no man. And I wait for no Batman.
I'm disabling the afterburner's failsafe. I need the extra speed.
Altering synapses keep up with my automatically adjusting course? I'm shocked, Dark Knight. Is that really as fast as it goes? Let's work that undeveloped brain of yours. Once more onto the track, Dark Knight. Once more! Now pay attention, detective. Go left. You're close, detective. Don't fumble now. Don't fumble now. Dark Knight, don't waste my time. It's several times more precious than yours. Oh no, you've lost. What's wrong? Can't cope when I set a time limit? Can't cope. Time limit? Faster than that, like Hermes! Or if you prefer, that Roman knockoff Mercury. Oh, detective, what's that I hear? Is it time's winged chariot hurrying near? If you can't understand the intellectual virtues of completing this trial, Batman, I'm not going to explain them to you. Come now, Detective. Time waits for no man. And I wait for no Batman. Oh no, you've lost. What's wrong? Can't cope when I set a time limit? Can't cope. Time limit? Come on, Detective. Back to the start of the course. Back to the start of the course. Another attempt? My, but you're optimistic. You flipped the car? Perhaps I'm in need of a more worthy nemesis. You stand marginally more of a chance of succeeding if you actually begin. A quite stunning failure. Not fast enough, Detective. Any idiot could do this if he had all day. Any idiot could do this if he had all day. Feel that, Detective? It's called humiliation. Come back to the start of the course and I'll serve up some more. Dark Knight, you're not failing properly. At least try and head the correct way. Come now, Detective. Time waits for no man. And I wait for no Batman. Relax, Dark Knight. The ordeal is over. Such a pity the laws of physics prohibit me from testing my non-Euclidean designs. Now then, Detective, hop on the pressure pad beside me. Listen carefully, Dark Knight. Your friend's life depends on it. Back in the orphanage, a series of glass cabinets have appeared in front of Catwoman. Isn't that right, my dear?
I see them, Eddie.
Good. One of those cabinets, my dear, has your first key inside. The others, they contain less useful keys. Keys that will unlock the admittedly slight contents of your skull all over the orphanage walls. Your job, Detective, is simple. Figure out which cabinet Catwoman must open. And don't get it wrong.
So most of them will kill me. One of them won't. Great. I can do this.
Ready to die, my dear? I wish I could tell you the correct key, Catwoman. I do. But you'll just have to trust the man who thinks bats can drive cars. Which cabinet, kitty cat?
Okay, Batman. Let's see if you're as smart as they say.
Finally, Batman, I'm not the only one to suffer as a result of your incompetence. Relax, Dark Knight. The ordeal is over. Such a pity the laws of physics prohibit me from testing my non-Euclidean designs. Now then, Detective, hop on the pressure pad beside me. Listen carefully, Dark Knight. Your friend's life depends on it. Back in the orphanage, a series of glass cabinets have appeared in front of Catwoman. Isn't that right, my dear?
I see them, Eddie.
Good. One of those cabinets, my dear, has your first key inside. The others, they contain less useful keys. Keys that will unlock the admittedly slight contents of your skull all over the orphanage walls. Your job, Detective, is simple. Figure out which cabinet Catwoman must open. And don't get it wrong.
So most of them will kill me. One of them won't. Great. I can do this.
Remember, Catwoman, all but one of them will kill you. Horribly. Horribly. Kill you. No, 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 kitty cat. Walk through there and there'll be a whole new set of paintings all over the orphanage walls. Do you feel lucky, Catwoman? You shouldn't, because it's a form of superstition. Oh, can't decide, Dark Knight. Decapitation was once considered an honorable death. By swords, admittedly, not...
Okay, Batman. Let's see if you're as smart as they say. One down.
Well done to the pair of you. That's the first key collected. Don't expect to be sinking your claws into too many more. Too many more. Did you really believe that a challenge designed by me, the Riddler, would be quite so easy? Oh, Dark Knight, you sweet, naive sentinel, of course it wouldn't! But now I have several hundred terabytes of performance data relating to the latest model of rocket-powered hearse you're driving. With that in mind, I have prepared for you something a little less knuckle-whitening and rather more brow-furrowing in Chinatown. Hurry on over, Detective, or it won't be curiosity that kills the cat.
Sir. Connection established. As expected, sir, a small drone force has been deployed to stop you.
I got him! He's in the cauldron! Rattler's been hit! Offline. Drone feed offline. Get back! Batman's taking out a Rattler. Drone moving to flanking position. Drone's been hit. Direct hit on a Rattler.
The bomb's payload is exposed. I can use the power winch to trigger a controlled explosion.
Excellent work. Bomb defused.
Protect these bombs, Sergeant! Whatever it takes!